I'm always amazed by the beauty and sheer power of nature. Right here in the jungle, you can experience nature's power at its fullest. Raging currents, gurgling rapids, crashing waterfalls. The sounds of the animals as they chirp and sing, as the howler monkeys call out from their high branches way up in the canopy. It's a reminder that you can find everything you need here in this ecosystem. I love every chance I get to come to this base camp here as I partner with a ministry in Guatemala that works with an indigenous group of Mayans called the Kekchi. And here we're at the border of Belize and Guatemala. We get to go into these different villages and provide clean water and medical aid. We get to share the message of hope with many people who feel hopeless in their current situations. This base camp is awesome because it has no power, no plumbed water. You have to learn to love just to live off nature and find the things that you need to survive right there. The jungle is an awesome reminder to be connected to the world around us, to stop and breathe and just exist. It reminds us to take a break from the distractions of modern civilization, to stop and take a breath, to enjoy the peace and the quiet all around us. It was on the banks of this river that I learned the necessity of knowing how to cook over an open fire, wash dishes in the river, without modern technology and the luxuries of civilization. You had to do certain things to survive. And that's where I developed a passion for cooking over an open flame. There's nothing more delicious than a nice steak that's been seared by the kiss of the fire's flame. The smoky savor melts in your mouth. That's what began my obsession with cooking with fire and smoke. Our dad taught us how to respect and love nature. He always had us out in the woods, whether it was camping or hiking or just teaching us how to survive. And eventually we bought a piece of property in South Carolina, way out in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. And together we built a small hunting cabin with our bare hands, you know, just something for us to be able to escape away to. I love to get way out in the woods and just have a nice fire. I mean, the second you light it, you're reminded of just how powerful a fire is. You know, to bring people together. You gather around to sit and laugh and talk. You get warm around a fire. You even smell food that's cooking over it, and it attracts people to that delicious scent of food cooking over the open flames. I just feel at home in nature. When the busyness and distractions all get put on hold, and you learn how to just sit there and exist together.
That's good.
We even bring a little bit of nature with us to the cabin. Brady loves to run and feel free and go for walks. And to be honest, so do we. One of our favorite things to do is to throw a big, fat, juicy Tomahawk Ribeye over the flames. We like to throw the potatoes wrapped in tin foil right inside the coals to cook under the steak, just the way Dad taught us when we were young, going camping out in the woods. We like to get one that's big enough that 3 of us can just sit around and share that one piece of meat. Well, the 4 of us, that is. I love cooking steak on an open fire. And the way that I love most, by far, is the way that I learned in Zacapa, Guatemala. This dish is called a churrasco. It's a big, fluffy flour tortilla, about the size of a pizza, and you fill it with delicious grilled meats. Now I want to invite you to the best table in the house, to the table in the back. We'll sit by the fire together and watch the flames dancing as we cook and laugh together. And I want to teach you how to make a delicious churrasco the way they make in Zacapa, Guatemala. Start off with 2 pounds of all-purpose flour, and then add in a half a tablespoon of baking powder, a tablespoon of dry yeast, and a teaspoon of salt. Mix that up well. Add a pinch of sugar, 3.5 tablespoons of vegetable shortening, and 1 cup of leche de coco or coconut milk. You want to take your hand and mix up all of the ingredients until they're well incorporated. Then you can take your dough out and begin to knead it with both of your hands until everything's mixed very well. You know you're done when your dough gets a plasticky, shiny, flexible quality about it. Then you want to take both hands and pinch the bottom of the dough and twist so that you can pump air into it so it will rise nicely. Then you want to cover it up and let it sit for about an hour. Then you can uncover it and separate it into 6 smaller duffels. Cover it back up and let it set for a couple more hours. Then you want to find yourself a really nice piece of flank steak and then cut it in long thin slices against the grain at an angle toward the cutting board. Then you're going to add about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Salt and pepper to taste, and then mix it all up well with your hands. Then you want to cut up an avocado, leave it in nice chunks and put it in a bowl, and you can set it aside for later, for during the meal. Then to prepare your cabbage, I usually use a bag of coleslaw and put the same seasonings on it you put the meat. Then you take your duffels out and they're ready to go, and you can roll them out into nice, flat, thin tortillas. You want them to be about the size of a medium pizza, and then throw it onto your flat top griddle with a little non-stick spray on there, and let it go until it gets these little bubbles that are going to pop up and form. So that's how you know that it's done, and you check it for just some light brown spots all around the tortilla, and then you know you can flip it. At this point, you can put your repollo or coleslaw, as well as your other grilled meats, onto the flat top and start rolling it all up. I chose some chorizo, some grilled steak, coleslaw, and avocado, as well as a little mayonnaise, and that's what I usually put into my churrasco. I find it to be the most delicious combination for me, but you can put pretty much anything you want in this thing, and it's going to taste phenomenal. Go ahead and take a big old bite and enjoy your creation. Now what are you waiting for? Get in the kitchen and cook.